Welcome back to another week of the Waiver Wire. Running backs finally hit the center stage for Waiver Wire pickups this week. Then there are plenty of options to go around. Teams scheduled on bye include Arizona Cardinals, Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Football Team, and Houston Texans. Before we get into the pickups, please subscribe now. And now for the injury updates. First, Deontay Johnson hobbled off the field with his lower leg injury. Next, Andy Dalton is in the concussion protocol after taking a monstrous hit to the helmet. Then Odell Beckham expects to be ending the season with an ACL tear, followed by N'Keal Harry not returning from with a head injury. In addition, Philip Lindsay also suffered a concussion. Jeff Wilson exited the game with what looks like a high ankle sprain, and finally, Chris Carson left with a mild foot sprain. Now let's get into the waiver wire pickups for quarterback. Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals, rostered in 50% of ESPN leagues. Joe Burrow is the only quarterback I'm comfortable suggesting as a waiver wire pickup. The thought about placing Daniel Jones and Baker Mayfield on the waiver wire did cross my mind. However, one high-scoring week from Baker Mayfield doesn't erase the past painful performances. And one extremely hilarious tumble from Daniel Jones, well, that's just funny. But I still don't want to roster him yet. When anticipated, Joe Burrow not only found the end zone once, but 3 times during his excursion with the Browns. On 47 attempts, Joe Burrow connected 35 times for 406 yards and 3 touchdowns. The rookie is finding solid ground to stand on. Next week, he does face a tougher Titans defense that has allowed the 15th most points against quarterbacks, so he may not be able to duplicate his performance from this week, but I'm confident that he'll continue the production next time. And now let's take a look at the waiver wire pickups for running backs. First up, we have Michael P. Ryan of the New York Jets, rostered in 12% of ESPN leagues. Unbelievably, Adam Gase did something right this weekend. LaMichael P. Ryan played a team high of 67% at this running back position, and while Frank Gore only saw 32. In addition, P. Ryan played well with the snaps allotted. If you're looking for a long-term solution, I would be selecting Perrine over the others available. However, as he is a wait and see to tell whether or not that Adam Gase's decisions was a hoax or not, I do recommend others in the short term. And part of that short term includes Gio Bernard of the Cincinnati Bengals, rostered in 49% of ESPN leagues. With Joe Mixon out, Gio Bernard continued his work in the passing game, but tacked on a few more carries than normal. Though his rushing was nothing to write home about, Bernard caught all 5 of his passes for 59 yards and a touchdown. Not bad for the 28-year-old running back. It's possible Joe Mixon's foot injury keeps him out multiple weeks, making Gio Bernard, a confident start until his return. And lastly, Wayne Gallman. Making Wayne Gallman a waiver wire pickup for Week 8 really depends on the status of Devontae Freeman. With Freeman leaving the Eagles contest early, the perfect scenario arose to showcase Gallman's talents. He looked agile, hitting the hole strong, and converted his goal line touch. Overall, Gallman's stat line doesn't paint an accurate picture of his performance. He ran the ball well 10 times, but for only 34 yards, and caught 5 of 5 targets, but again for only 20 yards. His participation in the passing game makes him a worthwhile flex option if Freeman is out next week. All right, now it's time for the waiver wire pickups for wide receivers. We have Tim Patrick from the Denver Broncos, again, shockingly only rostered in 18% of ESPN leagues. Tim Patrick came back down to earth this weekend, where he caught only 3 of 4 targets for 43 yards. However, keep in mind, his low numbers were the result of an injury that had forced an early exit. I expect a bounce-back week over the next few weeks, actually, as the Broncos face off against the Chargers, Atlanta Falcons, the Las Vegas Raiders, and Miami Dolphins. I expect to continue writing about Tim Patrick because he's not seeing any love. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll finally be able to give him above that 50% mark and off my waiver wire. And then let's move on to Marquez Callaway. He is more of a deep dynasty, deep rosters, but let's go. Marquez Callaway was getting 10 targets this weekend to Drew Brees. And who knows the situation with Michael Thomas? I'm hearing things from trades to out for an extended period of time. Apparently there's some sort of beef going on with Michael Thomas. Marquez Callaway, 10 targets is nothing to look away from. So if you're looking for a deep dive, he's your guy. And lastly, we have the waiver wire pickups for tight end. Trey Burton of the Indianapolis Colts, rostered in only 5% of ESPN leagues. The Colts are now clear of their bye week, making Trey Burton the top waiver wire tight end. Before the break, Burton garnered 9 receptions on 11 targets and proved his effectiveness on the field. Burton sees Detroit, Baltimore, and Tennessee in his next 3 matchups. Pick him up this week on the waiver wire. Next, let's move on to Richard Rodgers for the Philadelphia Eagles, rostered in 4% of ESPN leagues. The imploding mess that is of the Eagles passing game reminds me more of a phoenix rather than an eagle. Out of the ashes of Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert, among all the others that are injured, Travis Fulgham and now Richard Rodgers emerge. Playing 85% of the team snaps, Rodgers caught 6 of 8 targets for 85 yards. We know the Eagles like to target the tight end position, so until the 2 starters return, Rodgers performs nicely as a replacement. And next, let's go ahead and go to Harrison Bryant of the Cleveland Browns, rostered in less than 1% of ESPN leagues, so he's probably in your league. But before the season began, many people anticipated Austin Hooper as the pass-catching tight end. However, it's clear now that the Cleveland Browns signed him and his experience to block. The beneficiary of this coaching decision is Harrison Bryant, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic. Bryant exploded this weekend with 4 receptions and 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those rostering him in Dynasty are definitely on cloud 9. One more week until the halfway point, if you include playoffs. Our dreams of the championship remain clear. However, this is not the time to start making roster adjustments based on playoff aspirations. Hold off on those moves until later. All right, well, there you have it. Good luck on this week's waiver wire pickups. Please subscribe. Check out thefantasyacademy.com for more articles and information. And please leave a comment below on who your waiver wire pickups are this week. And I'll see you next time.